Sal says, watch them get Pitts at 3 and Mond or Trask in round 2. Pitts is the talk of the town right now. Won't happen, but I've seen that scenario online. Yeah, you probably saw it from your boy, and that's our next topic. So let's do it right now. The possibility of Pitts at 3. I even think there's a possibility of Pitts at 2. I think it's a possibility. So what do you think? Could the Niners even justify moving up that much for Pitts?
I would burn everything to the ground. Come on. Okay. It can't be that. It can't be that. There's no, I understand. Look, Kyle Pitts is probably the best tight end prospect ever.
Yes.
Coming out of college. That's no hyperbole, right? There's a lot
of people. It's not hyperbole.
There's a lot of people that believe that.
Yep. Because the highest tight end ever drafted is Vernon Davis, I believe. This guy is a way better player than Vernon Davis.
Yes. Oh. You can't justify that. You can't justify those 3 picks just to get that. For what?
Okay.
Who's the quarterback now? What did you like? You were in prime position to get one of these guys, and you chose Kyle Pitts. I would be so upset.
Okay, let me make the argument for it because I wrote an article yesterday, and I think I believe it. No, you want to trade up for a quarterback. Of course, you want to trade up for a quarterback. You also want to trade up for a sure thing. If you're trading 3 first-round picks and moving up, I think you're doing it because you feel so strongly that the guy is going to be a Hall of Famer. There's no doubt in your freaking mind. And I don't care how much you like Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Mac Jones, or Trey Lance, you got to have some doubt. They all have questions. They all lack experience. None of them have the 3 years that Trevor Lawrence had. They're just not. And Kyle Pitts, to me, is the only other prospect who approaches the safeness of Trevor Lawrence. So that's why I would consider it, because to me, take your need for a quarterback out of it, because the Raiders had a need for a quarterback when they took Jamarcus Russell. That can lead you to some bad decisions. If there's one player in this draft who is like a no doubt about it Hall of Fame, that guy reminds me of Calvin Johnson. I think passing on him for a quarterback who doesn't end up being great, you're going to regret that for a long time. Now, you might get a great quarterback, but you might not. See,
and again, I'm a big process over results guy. So again, can Justin Fields bust? Can Zach Wilson bust? Sure. It's definitely in the range of outcomes. But your process is correct right now. And if you do it the right way and you draft them, and it doesn't work out, fine. But at least you're showing me, again, you changed your thought process. You know it's at hand. You're looking at this class and you're doing it the right way. So I'm good with
Can I ask you a really snarky follow-up? And it's
go for it.
I love you. Mm-hmm. Did the Raiders have the right process when they drafted Jamarcus Russell over Calvin Johnson?
They didn't. That's a different story. That's a whole different story.
So they didn't trade up. They didn't trade up.
They didn't trade up. And the Raiders' history of drafting poorly, it was at that time. It was like the peak right there. So I forget who were the evaluators then when they did that.
Oh man, Al Davis.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. So that in that way, it was just, it just feels.
No, like, that being said, he was the consensus top quarterback that year. If you go back and look, it was like him, Brady Quinn, Kevin Cobb, some bombs. It was just a year that you didn't need to take a quarterback. Mm-hmm. So I guess what I'm saying with Pitts is I feel like who are the pass catchers over the last 10, 15 years that people have made big trade ups for? Julio.
That's it, Julio.
He deserves it. He's in that class. He's in that class, I would say. Pitts, Julio, these are guys that are definitely worth the trade up.
Right.
Is Mac Jones worth the trade up? No. And I like Mac Jones. No. Is Trey Lance worth the trade up? Not in my opinion. Is Justin Fields worth the trade up? Not in my opinion. Is Zach Wilson worth the trade up? Not in my opinion. But I'm very conservative with quarterbacks. Pitts, I just think the guy, unless plays a physical position, he could get hurt, and then you're really, really upset that you gave up the picks. Otherwise, Canton.
If you draft Kyle Pitts and you leave him in the block, that's egregious. I don't understand why you would use him that way. Again, wherever he goes, if you leave him in the block and you try to get him hurt doing that, that's pretty stupid. Because
when people say he's not even a tight end, he's a wide receiver. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I'll take a wide receiver number 2. Yeah. Just play Kittle at tight end. Move this guy around. It's just he would be good. But
it would be amazing in Madden. I would just be furious because I know I really think I know what's going on with these quarterbacks right now.
I know. You have to really feel strongly about some quarterback you could get in round 2. And from the sounds of it this year, there could be 8 quarterbacks who go in round 1. So maybe you just can't. Be interesting to see how his career goes. So I'm pretty certain he's going to be the freaking man.
Yeah, no, he's going to be great. That's a canvas. That's a can't miss.
Yeah, and I've watched so
Rising
much of him because I'm a big Kyle Trask guy, and I gotta say, Kyle Pitts is just a little bit better than Kyle. Why no one talking about Mac Jones? We just talked about Mac Jones. Can we give him a break? We brought it up. The dude was 19. It's definitely a factor. But I think the main point
Baker
is
got arrested. Baker's on video getting arrested. Didn't stop them from drafting him at point.
Enough. We know. You know what?
Yeah.
Dak Prescott, it shouldn't have been as big of a fact. These are young men. It's enough with this. I mean, if he's 27, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
Mike says, is it me or does Lance have a weird pocket setup? He kind of stands up straight and then he kind of dips low. That's probably fixable.
Yeah, I don't really have concerns when it comes to that. More than anything, I've been on here talking about Trey, and you know how I feel about him. It's more that I just want Trey to sit for a year if I had my way with him.
Trey is amazingly young. He's just hasn't had much opportunity to really play quarterback. His story is very interesting. I didn't know how many people tried to shut him out and how many people he had to prove wrong. He's the kind of guy with the chip on his shoulder that you do want to bet on because he clearly has self-belief and work ethic. It's just the 288 throws. There's never been a quarterback who succeeded with that. So, of course, there's always exceptions to the rule, and I hope he's one of them. Cam almost did it, but he had that year in JUCO. It's too bad that Trey's season got shut down. It really sucks.
Yeah, and that's why
what happens is what I mentioned earlier, like the Rosen thing, man. Like you get a chance to start. If you have a bad season, coach gets fired. All of a sudden, your advocate in the building's gone. They might draft another quarterback, and all of a sudden, where are you at? I hope that doesn't happen to him because it seems like if he has a little time to catch up on the bench, he could be a baller.